Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I've been away for so long and I do apologize about that because I just got so busy with my new Masters of Science degree and a lot of stuff happened in 2024 which made me which made it impossible for me to do more videos and new content for the channel. So yeah, but I'm getting back into it, kind of building up this hobby because I feel like I need to do something like this, like creatively. So yeah, thank you so much for staying and for watching the video. So I'm gonna do a really quick take on my updated PlayStation 5 collection. I'm gonna try not to talk too much about them, about each game, because there are quite a few. So I want to do this in a single take and as quickly as possible to make a pleasant watch. So starting off, we got Alan Wake 2, awesome game. I waited for the physical release, and when it was released, announced actually, I pre-ordered it and played it, and it's really awesome. Definitely recommend it. Alice Fallen, a AA game made by Deck 13 and published by Focus Entertainment, which honestly I think it's the best AA game developer, and I mean not developer but publisher. The Focus Entertainment, it's a really good publisher. It usually releases a few cool games. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I enjoyed it, but very long, to be honest. And then we got Assassin's Creed Mirage, which I also enjoyed it, but it was short, unlike Valhalla. And Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming out, as far as we know, probably in March. So let's see how that game comes out. Next up, we got Banishers: Ghosts of New Eden. Like I said, Focus Entertainment, they release good games. This one is good, but I think it's a bit long. But and the gameplay is a bit repetitive, but it's enjoyable. The story's cool. Next up, we got Callisto Protocol, the spiritual successor to Dead Space, and I wish I could say it was as good as Dead Space, but it wasn't. It's kind of a letdown. Control. This is developed by Remedy Games, which also made Alan Wake, and this is kind of part of the whole universe. They're all connected, and I do have to say, gameplay-wise, I think this is the best game that Remedy Game has ever done. Gameplay-wise, not story-wise. Dead Space, the remake, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, horror IP ever. I really enjoyed this one, and definitely one of my favorite games for the PlayStation 5. Next up, we got the walking simulator. No, I'm just kidding. It's Death Stranding. A lot of people call it a walking simulator. I think that's just being redundant. I mean, not being redundant, but being it's not really true. I do know that this game can be a bit slow, but that's the purpose of it. It's gonna slow down, just appreciate the journey, and I don't know. It's hard to explain it in such a short time, but it's awesome, and I cannot wait for the second one. Deathloop, one of my favorite games for the PlayStation 5, definitely on my top 5. I really enjoyed it. It's a time loop based game. Basically, if you die, you go back to the beginning of the day, and you need to kill a few assassins. I think you need to kill like 8 people, 8 targets, to end the loop. So it's real cool. Ghost of Tsushima, everyone knows this game. So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and I cannot wait for Ghost of Yotai. I think it's gonna be one of the best games of this year. God of War Ragnarok. As far as the games, as far as released games and games that I've played, this is my favorite game of the PlayStation 5. A lot of people will say that God of War 1 was better. I will not argue that, but I think that the story and the themes in this game are much deeper, and the gameplay is just an overall improvement. Next up, we got my sealed copy of Grand Theft Auto 5 because I got the updated version for the PlayStation 5 digitally. Basically, I made the upgrade from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5. But I wanted the physical version, and I got this one on a sale. So yeah, cannot wait for the Grand Theft Auto 6. I think that's gonna be the biggest game of the year, definitely. Guardians of the Galaxy. I wish this game did perform well in terms of sales, because the game is really good, but I think it didn't sell that well. And when something doesn't sell, it doesn't get a sequel, and it doesn't get spin-offs, and they just die. 80s, another roguelike game. One of those games that you really need to play it multiple times to get the real ending. And I think I've beaten it like 2 times, not sure, but one day I'll get back to it. Hogwarts Legacy, this is the only game that it's not mine. This is actually my girlfriend's. I gifted it to her on Christmas Eve, and yeah, it's a wonderful experience from what I'm seeing her playing. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but I will play it in the future. Horizon Forbidden West, an overall improvement over the first game. I think the gameplay is much more refined, and even the exploration, I think it's more interesting because you can see the landmarks that actually exist in the real world. Immortals Phoenix Rising, this is sort of Legend of Zelda meets Greek mythology, sort of hybrid. It has a lot of puzzles, and it's made by the same team behind Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yeah, the puzzles are really great in that one. The Last of Us Part 1, this is the remake, and I do have to say, paying full price for this was definitely not worth it, but it's still a game that it's worth revisiting and replaying. Life is Strange True Colors. By far, Life is Strange 1's by far my favorite one, but this one doesn't fall that much behind the first one. I think it's still a wonderful story, and the gameplay, the way that she can handle this emotional exploration of other characters' emotions, that's really well made. Then we got Marvel Midnight Suns. I still have not played this game, it's still sealed. It's basically an RPG meets trading card games, and I don't know how to really describe it, but it's a long game, and I still didn't play it because I just don't have that much time. A Plague Tale Innocence, like I said, they're awesome. But yeah, the developer, Asobo Studio, they really managed to make a wonderful experience, and dude, this is one hell of a ride from beginning to end. But by far my favorite one is A Plague Tale Requiem. It's I don't know how to describe this one. This is one of those games that really hit me so hard when I started playing it. When I played from like a year ago. I think I played this game a year ago, and it still haunts me to this day. That ending, man. That's just, if you've played the game, you know what I'm talking about. It still haunts me to this day. Ratchet and Clank. I do wish that they keep on investing in this IP, because it's the only IP that has been around since PlayStation 2. and it survived all these years, so in all these generations of consoles, and it didn't get lost like Jack and Daxter and Sly Cooper, which, you know, the last time we heard of them was like 10 or 15 years ago. Returnal, another roguelike game, which is wonderful. The atmosphere and the soundtrack in this game are just beautiful. Resident Evil 4, the only Resident Evil that I've ever got the platinum to, because it's just that awesome. So I had to play this game like 7 times to get the platinum, but it was worth it. It is a wonderful game. Resident Evil Village, awesome. That's just what I have to say. And the ending is, man, another ending that just still haunts me. Rise of the Ronin. I don't think this game got that much love when it came out because people just kept complaining about the graphics. I do want to say graphics are not everything. Graphics should be a complementary thing about a video game, because you play a video game because of the gameplay or because of the story or whatever, but the main focus should be gameplay. If you care about graphics, just go watch a movie, man, because I mean, I do get why people get upset about graphics, but I think that game got a lot of hate for no reason. Spider-Man Miles Morales, a nice but short experience, and it did its job well. It was kind of setting up Miles to be a new Spider-Man, which, you know, we all knew it was going to happen. And it set up Spider-Man 2, which honestly was kind of a disappointment because I wish the third act was a bit longer. This is one of the few games that actually would benefit of having a, I don't know, like 2 to 3 hours of extra content. That would be the solution to all my problems with the sequel. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This is a Souls-like game based off Star Wars, and it's wonderful. I'm not a fan of Souls-like games, but this one just made me enjoy the experience and dying and learning, and, you know. And Jedi Survivor is the sequel, and it's one of my favorite games I've played on the PlayStation 5. It's just wonderful. The story and everything about the characters, and I mean, the emotional journey that they go through in this game. This is sort of the Empire Strikes Back, as like if Jedi Fallen Order is A New Hope, this is definitely Empire Strikes Back, because it just has that impact on the story. It's just awesome. Next up, we got Star Wars Outlaws. I wish I could say that this was a really good game. I mean, it was okay. It was not as bad as people say, but it was not good. It was not that great. Stray, fun but short, and I also did get the platinum for this one. And you know, it's enjoyable. It's a nice little experience. I think this is more of an experimental and, you know, like experience-based game than, you know, an actual gameplay. Watch Dogs Legion. This is the third Watch Dogs game, and the last one that came out. I don't think that Ubisoft is gonna pick up on this game anytime soon, on this IP. But the premise is interesting. You play as any NPC that you see in the street, but it falls flat because you end up not having like a real story. I don't know, it's just weird. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition. This is the PlayStation 5 version. I did beat it on PlayStation 4. I mean, I did beat the PlayStation 4 and did get the platinum. So I got this one because I wanted to get the platinum and because I wanted to experience the full PlayStation 5 update. And it's wonderful. I mean, it's one of the best games ever made, to be honest. And I love The Witcher. Then we have WWE 2K22, 2K23, and 2K24. And the reason why I have so many wrestling games is because I got back into wrestling a few years ago, got 2K22, and then I slowly but surely kept on buying them. And last but not least, 13. This is not a this is a remake for a cult classic game that came out a few years ago, and I mean the gameplay itself, it's pretty outdated. I wish they they had done a much deeper rework on that front, but it's enjoyable. It's like I said, I think I play video games for the experience, and of course to pass the time, and I think that was a fun experience. So thank you so much for watching. I do hope you had a good time seeing the video games that I do own physically, and I would love to hear your thoughts. So please make sure you like and leave a comment if you want to, if you have anything to say about the games or anything that I've said. Do subscribe if you've enjoyed the content, and I'm gonna try to do more stuff from now on. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.